Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about, is guest posting still worth it? Back when I started internet marketing, I think it was about 6 years ago, maybe 6.5 years ago or so, one of the biggest tactics, and still a tactic that's used quite a bit today in the SEO world, is guest posting. So just a quick review on what guest posting is. Guest posting is when you, let's say I go to, I want a link from a site like HubSpot. I might say, hey HubSpot, I have a great piece of content over here from you, 10 ways to increase your SEO for 2017 or something like that. And the idea is, I spend all the time and resources on my end to create a great piece of content for them. And I get a link coming back to my site. I get the, basically, they get a great piece of content, and, the trade is I get a, high domain authority link coming back from them. And that's how a lot of people used to do link building. There's still a lot of people that do it that way, just solely for link building purposes. But, I find nowadays that when I do guest posting for sites like Entrepreneur Magazine or other sites, and Neil does this quite a bit as well, there's other benefits too. And then we can talk about that in a little bit. But I will say the short answer is the fact that Neil and I both do guest posting today is worth it, but we're not so much doing it just for the link anymore. It's really for other things that we have in mind. And I guess I'll let Neil start because he's been doing this quite a bit and he has a new spin on it.
So with guest posting, it used to be when you're doing it years ago, you could just apply to Entrepreneur Inc., Huffington Post, etc., and you get author accounts. Now they've changed it up. One, they don't give out author accounts as much, so it's harder to become a guest poster. Two, like for Huffington Post, for example, if they do give you an account, the account is usually on a subsection of their site. It's no index, no followed, which means that no matter how great of a piece of content it is, they're going to no index it so Google can't even crawl it, which means that when someone Googles the title of the article or anything related, it'll never show up in organic search. Hence, you can't use it to grow your backlink profile, and they're not promoting it internally. They're just counting on you sharing it via your own social properties and making, that article popular. So if you're going to build links from guest posting, don't waste your time. It doesn't work as well as it used to. It's not a long-term strategy anyways. It's more of a gray hat strategy. You should just be focusing on guest posting to drive customers and leads. And that is still worth it. If you can write really relevant articles on sites like Entrepreneur Inc., Forbes, Fast Company, HubSpot, you pick the name of the publication that's relevant towards yours. It helps with credibility. It helps with brand building. It drives traffic back to your site. Who cares if you're getting a link that helps your search engine rankings? If it's just driving referral traffic back and driving business, it's worth it. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Jason Demers, and he has a company called Audience Bloom. He specializes in SEO and he specializes in guest posting. And I was asking Jason, why don't you build up your own website? And he's like, Neil, I prefer blogging on Forbes. I'm like, why Forbes? He's like, I get more leads from Forbes than I do from my own website. He's like, I don't care how we rank in Google or what keywords or how our website looks. I just know that if I crank out awesome content on Forbes, I'm going to generate a ton of leads from it. Now, the trick with guest posting is if you just write 1 or 2 articles, it doesn't do much for you. But if you write a few articles a week and you do it for a year straight, it's a lot of work. I'm not joking, right? Literally a year straight. Then you're going to start seeing results. You will see little to no results in the first 6 months. I kid you not, it takes a year plus. I've contributed over 1,000, that's right, 1,000 guest posts on different publications. It has a really good ROI now, but I've been doing it for more than 3 years. Just think about that. That's pretty much 1+ article a day for 3 years, right? That's a lot of content. I'm getting the ROI now, and when I look back on the investment, I was like, this was well worth it. But when you first start off, you're not going to feel that way.
Yeah, so I have an article from a couple years ago on YouTube advertising, and I think this was published on Entrepreneur Magazine. And literally, if you Google YouTube advertising, I think it's the 4th or 5th result. But we have, this is 3 years ago, and we recently got a lead a couple months ago. And this is a company that's willing to spend $150,000 plus a month. And so you get companies like that reach out. So, it's no surprise that when Jason's saying, hey, Forbes works out really well, there's a lot of high net worth people reading Forbes magazine. And the good thing also about, let's say you're starting out, you're trying to, get involved with Entrepreneur Magazine or Inc. And somehow you find the editors and you end up getting a guest posting account. Well, that's good, because in some cases you don't have let's say your site's brand new. You don't have a lot of authority on your website. Well, guess what? Who has a lot of authority? The entrepreneurs of the world, the Forbes of the world, right? When you write something really good and it's new, let's say you write something new on, Snapchat marketing or Musical.ly marketing, whatever it is exactly, guess what? You can probably end up owning that organic result, and you're going to drive leads that way, which is similar to what Jason is doing. So guest posting has its ROIs, right? It has the referral traffic. You can own, the organic result, although it's on somebody else's website, and you can also have a link coming back to your website too. But don't just focus on the links. I think Google's done a good job with the updates and trying to get people to move away from just focusing on anchor text, focusing on links all the time. Just focus on delivering value, and then eventually things will come back to you. Again, Neil talked about not getting results for 3 years. My same thing with my post.
It wasn't 3 years. It was more so it took 3 years to have a huge ROI.
Okay, there you go.
But the first year after year one is when you start seeing a decent ROI.
Okay. So let's clarify again. If you want a huge ROI, in Neil's case, it was 3 years. And for a huge ROI for us in getting that big time lead, that was 3 years as well. So it does take time. It's not going to happen quickly. But I still think guest posting is worth it. Obviously, if Neil's investing into it, I'm still investing into it. It's definitely worth a look. So Neil, anything else to add?
That's pretty much it from my end. As Eric mentioned, it's worth doing. Give it time. And don't do it unless you have enough of a budget to do it for at least 1 full year with 3 guest posts per week.
All right, that's it for today's episode. We'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.